What's up, everybody? Welcome to another Monday live stream. Welcome to the new intro. I'm trying out something. I don't know if it's gonna be good or not, but anyhow, welcome to the channel. My name is Guillaume. I'm a live sound engineer that talk about anything that has to do with live sound. We can talk about console. We can talk about microphone, even though the SM7B is a studio or known as a studio microphone. This thing sounds really good on drums. We can talk about anything that has to do with live stream. Also, I'm kind of getting good at doing mix for live stream, or at least I know enough now to get away with it and nobody complain that it sounds like garbage. I've done my fair share of live stream for event. It could be press conference, live band. I've done a couple hundred of those with the pandemic, and nowadays, you know the drill. Every event wants to be, hybrid. We call them hybrid event, where you have people in the room. Some people want to have a Zoom call, live Facebook, YouTube. I've done Vimeo last week. You guys know the drill. You've been around the block. You're probably streaming yourself for a lot of churches apparently right now stream, so people don't have to go there. They just can watch it from home. Or some people are unable to go there because they're sick or because they don't have the physics to move over there. So good for them. Good for you to enjoy whatever that you cannot physically enjoy on the comfort of your home. When it comes to other stuff like show, I still recommend, like everybody else, to go see a live show. That's actually making a huge difference, by the way, when you move out to go to a real live show. It's not the same watching it on YouTube. The real experience is the live. This is how I make a living, doing live shows, so of course I'm gonna encourage you to go to live shows. So usually I don't stream that late. Let's see what's going on in the chat. Let's see what's going on with you guys. Today is a little hangout. Really soft, smooth. We talk about anything that you guys want to talk about. No big news this week. Let's be honest. No firmware release or no software to be released. Maybe we can talk about some stuff that is coming eventually. But second stream today is just to try out the new intro, to spend some time with you guys, and we want to spend some time looking at the console or other stuff together. There we go. While you guys are coming in, something that I want to take a look at is the library, and I believe I got a USB stick here with some MP3 stuff on it, and I need to take a look at the new system because I honestly didn't have much time to play around with it. I'm talking about, of course, the new show control. Right now I'm on the Monday live stream. I can definitely go there and create a show for that. Let's go over the process of creating a show and doing some snap file just for fun, because I did it once and it's been a while. So let's create a new show. I'm gonna call it Monday Live. No, I'm missing an L here. Live Monday live stream. I'm gonna click create. I created a new show. And in that show, this is where I'm going to save my snap file. To be clear, a show is just basically a folder for your snap file. Let's create a snap file now that we created a show. We have snap here, and I want to save a snap. So I want to add save, or I want to save scope. If I go add save snapshot, okay, I'm gonna call it MLS for Monday live stream. I'm gonna go save. So I created a snapshot. Now that I created a snapshot, I have a couple options that are now available for me, which is to do an update, a partial update, to load that snapshot, or do partial load and restore. So I don't know what restore is. I would need to look into that, but restore is probably go back, reload the snapshot without saving. This is what I believe restore will be called. And of course, we now have the addition of snippet. So if you want to have a snippet, if I go, let me take a look at this. Okay, I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna go update. When I go update select scope, data will be overwritten. Confirm. Good. I can add save, replace. Oh, it's created a double of that, so I don't want that. Can I delete it? I can remove that. Okay, good. And let's say, just for fun, I want to record a snippet. Recording a snippet is the first time that I'm doing this, by the way. So if I go rec focus, it's gonna record all that stuff. Okay. If I go here, all the parameter that I'm changing, I believe, will be set. So if I move, okay. If I move the fader, because this is what I did, it created a parameter change versus the snap file. So I'm gonna go clear all. If I want to record an effects change, because let's be honest, this is probably what people are gonna do. I'm gonna record an EQ change on my microphone, so I'm just gonna go with a flat EQ here. Maybe not. Sounds too bad. Okay, let's go with a flat EQ. And I'm gonna go back to library, snippet, 7 parameters. I can either remove or add items. Okay, I'm not gonna touch that. And I'm gonna try to save this as EQ change. EQ. EQ change 1. And go save. Now I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna load this snapshot. And I'm gonna go load. And my EQ change. I heard that. Hear me out. Created a snap, or actually just recall a snapshot. This is nothing new. This is what we've always done. Now what we created is an EQ change with a snippet. So a snippet is just a couple parameters. In this case, it's going to be 7 parameters that are going to be changed. It want to change way more than I thought. Okay, so I'm going to go stop. And I'm going to go back here. I don't know if it changed whatever. I'm going to go just clear all, confirm. Okay. 7 parameters changed. I don't know if you guys can see it, but right there, it's really small. But next to the snippet, it tells you you have 7 parameter change. Now, the way that I understand the new file system is you create a list of stuff that you want to happen in time, and you can, with the show control, right now I have show control selected, with the next, previous, and with the previous and next, and go previous, go next, you change basically the stuff that you're selecting in the file or in your set list or sequence, and you're gonna recall that. So I'm gonna go with the control on with the custom control on the console, and I'm gonna click next. If I click next, it selected the other item in my list, so it's basically a snippet that I want to select. And now I have a go button, like the go button right here. I have it on my console, and I'm gonna press go. And we're probably gonna hear an EQ change. When I do this, it didn't go. Did it go? Did it go? Did it go? If I go this and I could go. It definitely changed my EQ. Now, I don't know why. Okay, because I was pressing the wrong. My bad, I'm a dumber. There's two knobs here, and I was pressing not the go, but I was pressing D custom control over it. So it's probably working. Let's go back again. I'm gonna try this time to go with the previous, or go previous, go next. I'm gonna go previous here. Definitely you can hear an EQ change in there. This is where I am. This is the next cue. If I press go next, so it's not a previous or next, it's go next. On the console, it definitely changed my EQ. So there you go. This is how snippets are working. If I go, I can probably go again and have that on, but if I go back and I press go, oh, actually it's the other way around. It's what's in blue, and if I go next, it's gonna select the next thing on the list, but it's not gonna load it. If I go again, go next, now it changed the EQ. We sound, I sound way more like this. And if I go previous and go, as soon as I press go, my EQ come back to whatever it is. So that's pretty much it. I believe you can also add, well, you can have snippets. Snippets are just partial recall or parameter recall, as you can see right here. And you can also have clip that you can add from your USB key or internal drive. I would need to investigate that, but or effects change or channel change, and that can all be loaded on a list of cue, and you're changing those cue by going next, go, next, go, next, go, next, go. There you go. That's pretty much it. We got a question here from JBaby. Hey Guillaume, could you go over or help figure out the MIDI feature of the show control? I haven't had any luck. Okay, maybe we can try that. We're here to have a good time. And I want to learn more about the console, and this is definitely something that I did not look at. I don't remember if the show control had any MIDI stuff. I know they talk about it a little bit, but I don't remember seeing anything MIDI about that. So let's dive into this. I'm gonna learn as we go. I didn't RTFM. I'm just gonna read the console and the parameters in front of me, and I'm gonna try to figure out how to do MIDI stuff. So I'm gonna remove that snippet. Oh, and it didn't ask me if I want to remove. Okay, it just removed it. Okay, let's create. Actually, what are you trying to achieve? Are you trying to achieve a MIDI send of a custom control or a program change in the list of cue? Or are you trying to get MIDI command to change show control? Because I believe the console do not responds to MIDI, but it can send MIDI information from a program change. And also, by the way, you need to use the MIDI connector in the back of the console to have those action happen over MIDI, if I'm clear. You cannot well, actually I think you can also get it from USB, but it's either or USB or the local DIN 5 pin. It's not gonna work from a stage box if you have a stage box on stage and you have that connected over AS50. It's not gonna send out MIDI through that signal. So you would need to run a different MIDI network. Right now, I have a friend who's using a MIDI network to control all the stuff. So everything that is on a MIDI has a WebSocket where he's controlling all that stuff. So this is how he's doing it. I don't know if it's the best way to do it. I usually never use MIDI for that. The way that I'm using MIDI right now is I'm having some custom control here to change my camera, to cut down on my music, if this one is working or not. It did not. It's probably broken inside of Reaper, but that's a different story. The console do send out Midi. Okay, let's take a look at Midi over show file. So is it, I think it's going to be in the snapshot, or in a snippet, not a snapshot. So I'm going to add an item, and I think you need to use a custom control. No, that did not do anything. Okay. We're gonna create a snippet. A snippet will be just a feature or a action happening. So I'm gonna go add, and I want to have a MIDI control. Where on that page here will I found a MIDI control? As I'm looking at this, I think the quickest way would be to just get out of there having a custom control. Because having a custom control like I'm doing right now, I'm sending out a MIDI. So I'm gonna go here, rec. And the parameter change that's gonna happen is I'm gonna click on my custom control for a MIDI change. It did the action, it switched the camera. I have registered 2 parameters, as you can see here. 2 parameter change. I think I just save add, and I'm gonna call it CC MIDI cam change. I'm gonna go here because I'm using. I'm gonna go stop, and I created my snippet. Because I'm using a single MIDI action to toggle between 2 camera, basically the MIDI value is 0 is switching to my front camera, and when I hit 127, it switched to this one. Any other value lower than 127 will switch back to my front one, but it's basically the same knob, and I'm using the 2 different value of a same MIDI control, a MIDI CC, to toggle between 2 action inside of Reaper. So if I understand myself correctly, and I go here, I just did a action. I did send out a MIDI command from a custom control command to change my camera angle. So if I'm doing the same thing again and I press next, it's going to select the next item on the list. I'm just going to select that, and I'm going to press go. And if I press go, it's sending out the same value. And if I press here again, does it change my camera? Yes, it does. Okay, my camera has changed. And if I go again, I'm in front view. I'm gonna press go from the custom control section, and loading that snippet is changing my camera angle. If I try to load it again, it's only sending the same value, so it's changing my camera. It's changing it's repeating basically the action that I saved at that time. It doesn't change anything else on the console. It's just changing, or it's doing the action that I program into that snippet file. Really nice. Let's try something else. Let's say that I want another action to happen. I'm gonna go clear all. Clear all. This is recorded, so I'm gonna clear all. Let's say I want to mute a microphone. I'm not gonna mute my microphone. I'm gonna mute another one, but I'm gonna go on the console here, channel 37 that I'm not using. I'm gonna start to record a action change. So I'm gonna press mute. Okay, hold on. Let me do it again so you guys can see what's going on. Clear all. Okay. Stop. This is a cool snippet. I want it to happen, so I'm gonna do it this way. I want to record another one. I want to do another snippet and other action on my console. So I'm gonna go record. I'm gonna change a lot of stuff, like pressing that mute button. Like I said, I want that mute button to turn on. So I press the mute button. It's currently on, and I'm gonna go save. I'm gonna call it mute 39, which is my channel 39, and I'm gonna go save. If I go to my first snapshot where my camera angle is different and my channel 39 is not mute, if I go, okay, it did not change the camera setting, but it did change my mute status on that channel. So I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna switch camera. We will see the mute status change if I go through my snippet. Right now I'm back to the first item on my list, which is recalling my snapshot. And I'm gonna use not the knobs here, but I'm gonna use the physical one on the console. Or actually, you should do it this way so you guys are gonna see. I'm gonna go. It's gonna change that many parameters, which I believe is wrong for just doing a single action, but I believe it will do it. So I'm just gonna go next. It changed my camera to be this camera angle, and if I go next again, my channel 39 is now muted. If I go previous, is it doing anything? It's doing something when I recall my snapshot. So now I change a couple times my preset and I'm back to my snapshot. So it's really cool what you can do. Just go next, selecting the next file, selecting the next file, go, and my channel 39 just mute. So if you are doing a musical and you know exactly what's gonna happen precisely, you can have a cue list like this. You need to set up custom control, I believe, for your MIDI change, but you could control a whole show. Just go like next, go next. Turn on your reverb, turn on your mute some people, unmute some effect. You could do all that stuff, and I believe all the parameters of the console are taken into consideration when you are doing. I'm just gonna go stop here. All the parameters of the console are, I believe, are here. So 21,380, I believe, is a lot of parameter change. So yeah, I believe this is gonna be it. Let me see what's going on in the chat with you guys. Tech for Fun. Hey, what's up, man? Just starting playing with the SQ7 first digital board for me. Okay, good. Well, not the SQ7, SQ5. SQ5 is a fine console. I prefer a different kind of sound, a different kind of overall result. I got okay sounding mix with SQ myself. They're not bad console. Well, actually, hear me out. I'm not a fan of the workflow. I'm not a fan of how you need to do a hard stop on the in and out to do a routing change on the console. But this is not the kind of stuff that you are usually doing on a show. Well, actually, I had to do it 2 weeks ago where I had a monitor dying on me, and I wanted to take a bus, a monitor send, a mix bus, and change that to another output of the stage box, and I couldn't do it live without having to do a hard stop for a second of the audio through the console. To me, that's a showstopper. That's absolutely unacceptable behavior from a console. I know the D-Live, the D-Show, D-Live is Alan, D-Show is Avid. The old D-Show used to do the same thing. I mean, it's not the end of the world, but if you have to do something like while a band is playing and you need to reroute some stuff, it's unideal, I believe. And the SQ to me is just sounding really, really clean. It's really, really like what you get. It sounds roughly like a Yamaha console, where you got an input, it's gonna sound really clean. I think they sound a little bit bright, but that's what you get, and I can get honestly decent result with that. But since last week, I've mixed on the Wing X32, Soundcraft SE, SQs, and Yamaha CL5 QL5. And again, in order, I would say the Yamaha is the console that I like the least. SQ, then I like the sound of the VI from Soundcraft, and I like the sound of the DL251 with the Wing. And I'm gonna put the X32 just under the Soundcraft, because the X32, I'm so used to it. It's probably the reason why I'm so used to these console. I know how to make them sound good, because I've done it so much for the last 10 years. I've mixed so many shows. I mixed hundreds of shows on X32, hundreds of different bands. I know how to make them sound good. But yeah, the SQ, it's going to be an easy learning curve for you, where you select a channel, you go into processing, you have your gate, your EQ, and compressor there. I'm not convinced of the default starting point of those channel strip, but if you get a good gain going, if you get a decent, like around -18, -12, maybe average, and you have never anything clipping on your console, you should be good. You should be good to go. You can just EQ it out, and it's gonna work. Where I believe the SQ stuff is not performing that good is the effect. So if you're having a hard time with your reverb, your delay, don't freak out. They're probably not that great. Actually, I believe they're not that great, and it's gonna be fine. They're gonna be fine at best, and you're gonna be fine. Just don't worry about it. Just learn how to do what you want to do. Hear me out. Learn how to take a channel strip for a vocal, voice, bass drum, guitar. Learn how to take a channel, EQ it out the way that you want it to sound, and send it out to the main out. That's a starting point. If you can get that, if you can understand what you want to have as a final result for a vocal, for a guitar, for a bass drum, for a bass guitar, for keyboards. Actually, keyboard I usually leave alone. I usually never EQ out keyboard. I just take what the player program at home in his reference speaker, and I usually apply that to the show. Sometimes, if it's a beginner player, I will EQ them out, but otherwise I don't. But yeah, you're gonna learn how to build a mix together on an SQ, and you gotta get there. It's not that complex of a console. You just need to know a little bit here and there, and you should be fine doing that. Especially if you're transiting from analog console, you're used to your signal chain. I need to do a video about that, explaining single chain. That when you look at a Wing, you look at a channel strip. The reason why this is in order here, or this order, is because it used to be this way on analog console. When you have your channel input, after that you add your low cut and high cut on higher console, higher range of console. Your pan tilt, your balance. Balance and pan is two different things, by the way. After that, you usually add a gate in order, an EQ, a little bit of compression, or oh, that's the insert point. This channel has move, because on the wing you can move stuff around. This is the default status. So EQ, a little bit of compression. Maybe I can turn that down just a little bit here because I seem to be clipping my main out. And after that, you have the visual indication of the fader, and you have a post insert fader on the console, or on the strip, I should say, not on the console. You have a post fader. You have your gain, gate, EQ, compressor, first insert point, your fader, your physical fader that you're moving in and out, and you have a insert point after that, which never really happened in the analog world. Usually once you reach the fader, everything was going to the main out, and your fader was just like the last step. But here on the way, because it's digital, we have the option to have one more block, one more layer. You have your I'm just gonna put that to none. You have another insert, and then you have the way that you're sending out to the main out. On analog console, those used to be little push knobs next to the fader that you would assign to your main out, or groups, or matrices. If you have a console that allow you to go matrices from a channel, those were really, really rare console. I believe one of the Ramza that I saw at school had a way to no, you needed to assign to group, and you could assign group to main out or matrices only. But those routing options are pretty much limitless in the wing versus analog. Because analog, you had to physically do it on a circuit board, a line that would allow you to do that. So because we're dealing with digital signal, we can take a different point in the chain and just send it wherever. But all that to say, sorry, the grading here. All that to say that if it's your first digital console, the SQ5 is going to be fine. Learn your way around it, and you got to have a good time. I believe the feature I'm looking at is on the show page below Save As. Okay, let's go take a look at that then. What do we have here? Show page. If you go, oh, it's Midi Send there. I didn't see that. Okay, let's take a look at that Midi Send. Oh, you can have an action that's going to trigger that. So, okay. Edit Midi transmitting T-axis for transmitting string. Honestly, I have no idea what I'm looking at. I understand how Midi is working. I understand that this is a way to enter some kind of command here that would talk to something else, but this is not something that I used to do. I'm familiar with Midi, but when it comes to something that you will find probably more in the custom control section, where you have, again here, you have a Midi command or a Midi CC toggle. Midi CC stand for custom continuous control. And a toggle will alternate between sending out a value of 0 or 127. So this is what a Midi control toggle, and this is usually the kind of parameter that I'm used to work with when it comes to Midi. So you have your CC, toggle or push. You have notes, which is the 88 note that you have on a keyboard, and you have program change. Program change is another parameter that can be sent out by Midi. So here I'm just gonna go out of there. Program change is just another way to recall preset on unit. CC control is like for real-time control, like a fader. A fader would use Midi CC control if you were ever to convert a fader to Midi. But having the library, having the hold on, I want to say something. The Midi transmitting string written to send to another device. That's definitely more advanced than what I had to deal with in the past. Let me ask you, if you want to do some Midi stuff, can Can't you just do some MIDI CC on another layer and, put MIDI CC on layer 10 of the custom control and trigger that to do your MIDI change? If you store that into a snippet or a snap file, when you have a status, it would recall that and send out MIDI information to something else. When it comes to MIDI transmission and address, let me go back at it for a second. I believe this is hexadecimal, but I have no idea what the U is for. I honestly never had to deal with this, and I don't know how many parameters you can have here or how many you need, but it's something that I'm familiar with. I'm way more a sound engineer, a mixing engineer, and I'm really good at routing. But when it comes to automation, MIDI, and all that stuff, it's really, I'm good at what I needed to learn. So when I used to have guitar amps with MIDI remote control, I had to deal with CC, I had to deal with notes, and I had to deal with program change. But anything else, MIDI transmission system, I know it's going to be crazy wild, but I never had to go further than that. So in the show control, MIDI send, I'm sorry, I cannot. This is way over my knowledge of mixing live bands. I'm not a musical guy. I've done some, but I'm not a musical guy, or I'm not the kind of guy that would have 500 cues to do during a musical. Usually I used to do show on Pro 2s or LS9 and M7CL, where I would just recall mute and effects send in some EQ sometimes, or some channels sometimes. But I was building it as basically snap file all the time, so I would just go next with snap file, not only snippet, because snippet is really fun once you understand it, but this is not something that I've worked a lot with, because usually most of the band that I'm working with, all the rock and roll band, do not require me to do multiple change during a show. Other than having tap tempo, I'm playing around a lot with reverb and delay, but it's something that I do jamming with the band myself, like reverb and back vocal and stuff like that. But it's not something that I do like purposely on recall. Like, I don't work with any band that has a specific effect for a specific part of a song that I need to recall. Or maybe sometimes delay, but other than that, and delay, I just do it myself, because this is how I spend my show. I'm mixing and I'm sending out delay or reverb cue to make it sound like it's way bigger. I want you to forget that you are in a small room. I want you to feel that you are in an arena, even if you're watching a small show. So, understand, I was just confused how it worked. Yeah, I'm not the guy to help you with that. Maybe there's some people on the Behringer forum, if I can point you out this way to do it. But if we keep going on or set lists, I would like to have this called a set list. It's basically a scene change. You can add some clips from the USB key. I do not have anything right now. It's only the 4-track player. It's not the, I believe it's not the SD card. You can have some effects change. If I change the insert point on that, I can save an effect, or can have a channel save. If I go talkback 40, which is my channel save, I'm gonna have everything here, and I'm gonna go talkback change. All right, I did not change anything, so if I move around my go plus go next, it's not going to do anything. But I just recall my scene, usual scene, my channel 39 just uploaded. Oh, interesting. Can you guys hear that? When I switch from talkback 40, which is a channel recall, and the snap recall, you can hear the recall, you can hear my gate open. Listen carefully when I press go. And I want to close the music for that. It's not shutting down. Hold on. I'm going to manually mute the music for a second. Okay. So right now, the only thing that you have is my voice going to the main out. And I'm going to recall the scene, and it's going to do the action of recalling, even though it doesn't change anything. Did you hear the gate open up for a second? Let me see if I can do this by hand, and if I go here. Let's see if the gate is going to open. Actually, you will see probably the gate open here. I'm going to stop talking and just watch at the screen. And I'm going to recall the scene. When I press the knob, I'm triggering the gate a little bit, but I'll try to do it again. And if I go previous on my custom control section, and I'm going to press the knob really gently. It opened up the gate. So what that means is, when you are doing a channel recall, it will recall that channel anyway, even though you're not changing anything. But the gate would not stay closed because it sent out the signal, basically reset, or the action that you're creating is basically resetting that gate. It give it a new value, even if it's the same thing. The gate just open up and close back. So it's probably gonna cancel any kind of compression that you have. Also doing at the same time. So if you are running a musical and you have compression going and you do that, you may have some volume that, you know, your compressor will reset. So it would just go like whoop for a second. Maybe trying to time that with something that makes sense to you, or the singer like breathing and changing your effect. But yeah, this is how you do it. Okay, well, I've learned about the library stuff, and I actually definitely learned that this MIDI send thing was a new thing. But honestly, I don't know how to use the MIDI the TX string. This is not something that I can help you guys with. I really like the show control, what they did so far. You can change, you can change what you're gonna recall, and you just press the go button, and I just mute my channel 39 just like that, and I can go back, or I can be on the channel that I want, or the last action, go next. Every time that you go next, whatever is in blue is gonna be recalled. So really like what they're doing right there. The guys over at Behringer or Music Tribe definitely know what they are dealing with, and so far I didn't heard anybody complaining about crashing with Wing version 2.0, or I didn't heard about anybody having a hard time with the show system having it crash. It seems to be working really good. So kudos to the guys. Okay, so not a lot of people show up because I don't usually do these live stream at night, but I'm still really glad that we went over this together. So after that 45-minute set, if you guys have any question, it will be time for you to ask them in the chat if you have anything else that you want to talk about. If not, because I want to try to keep the stream entertaining for people to watch in playback, please Oh yeah, just a reminder, please like the video, subscribe if you're not subscribed and you're watching this in playback, and make sure to ring the bell so you'll know when I'm going live like this at night. You get a notification on your phone, on your computer, so you can stop working and spend some time with me instead of working for the people that pay you. Seriously, yeah, we'll wrap it up for now. Thank you very much for joining this late stream. I should do them more often, or I should actually do 2 streams a day and do something different in the second one. I'm going to keep the format of the usual 1 p.m. afternoon for me live stream, and maybe I can have some other stuff, like do one in French for people who are living in French speaking country and want to get information on in French about the console. I'm lucky enough to speak 2 languages, so why not put that to contribution. So on that note, guys, thank you very much for watching this late stream, probably in playback, or being with me today. I really appreciate that you take time of your day. And until the next one, next Monday, I want you to please take care of yourself, and I will see you guys later. Have a good one.